the night. I am Batman!
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books, I love talking about them, I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We're going to be looking at a really cool story. It is Batman Special number 1 from 1984. This is before year 1, so this is before the modern, before the modern day Batman per se. So we got a great cover by Michael Golden in which we meet the Wrath. So a nice cover by Michael Golden with some really nice color holds here. And so this is really a story about Batman and a doppelganger. So there were two killings done on the same day 25 years ago. So we've got the Waynes here with Joe Chill, and we have these two robbers with this police officer here. So these two guys, and you can see this guy here is pulling a gun. All right, so Joe Chill ends up killing the Waynes here, and then he runs away, leaving poor little Bruce. Here you can see the robber fires at the cop. The cop ends up firing, and he ends up killing the as he's shooting. You can see that the cop is hit, so he makes 2 shots that kills both the mom and the dad. So we've got the Waynes, and we got this person here. You can see some of the credits kind of going through here with the editorial here. This is written by Mike W. Barr and penciled by the one and only Michael Golden, which is why I want to cover this, because I love Michael Golden. He is a precursor to Todd McFarlane and Mark Silvestri and all the Image people. So we see here Leslie Tompkins helping Bruce Wayne, and he ends up studying to become Batman here, and we can of course see the bat coming through the window. But then the kid ended up going to juvie, and he wants to get even with the person that killed his parents. Turns out that person was the beat cop by the name of Jim Gordon. Now, as I mentioned before, this is before Batman year 1, so Jim Gordon actually lived in Gotham City and was a patrolman in Gotham City. He didn't move into Gotham City the way he did in Batman year 1. And so we basically have a Batman here fighting crime, and love the color holds that were done here. You can see Michael Golden with Mike DeCarlo as his inker. Mike W. Barr, as I mentioned, I think that was already is the writer here. And then we've got the Wrath, who is the evil kid here, and he is against the law. And again, lovely color holds here. So there's Mike W. Barr's. And so the player on the other side is the title of our story. So we're going to see the Wrath trying to get to Jim Gordon, and we're going to see Batman trying to protect Jim Gordon. So, all right. And so these guys are bringing in Gordon some food from the commissioner, from the commissary, from the cafeteria here. And you can see Batman's shadow here. He's coming. And so this guy says, "Here you go, Commissioner. Better get it before the grease hardens." And Commissioner says, "And be an example to the rest of you, huh, Sims?" And so Batman, of course, comes through the door, and he goes, "Get down, both of you," and tosses this guy down. And he says, "The police cafeteria only uses metal trays. The plastic may be," and he kicks the desk down, and suddenly an explosion. And he, of course, says, "An explosive. Should have noticed that myself. That's another one I owe you, Batman." And Batman says, "No one's keeping score, sir, except the man who's after you. You're coming with me." And he says, "With you? I can't," as he picks up Gordon. And Batman says, "I wasn't asking," and someone's got him in a scope here. So this guy here says, "This is the second time the Batman has taken Gordon from me, and the last." And you can see that he causes the same image behind. Looks like a bat as well. And so we are in this hideout and one of the tall buildings in Gotham here. And Gordon says, "Amazing. From the street, you never know this was here." And Batman says, "That's the point, isn't it, Commissioner?" And Gordon says, "I suppose so, but I'm not hiding here, Batman. The department needs me." And Batman answers him, "Needs you alive, Commissioner, and needs its police alive too. Fortunately, no one died in the first attempt on your life. I thought Councilman Tools was the target, until I realized he was only grazed by the sniper's bullet. Maybe the sniper was really aiming at you. In which case, he might have prepared a backup. I swept you away from your limousine just before it blew up." And so we can see that here. And so Batman here, of course, still narrating the story. But the officer driving was killed, and 2 patrolmen are still in intensive care. You're not hiding, Commissioner. You're protecting the lives of your men until I smoke out the man behind this. And Gordon says, "All right, Batman, I'll do as you say for now." So Batman's going to leave. He says, "I'll be in touch." And Gordon asks, "Won't people see you leave?" And Batman, of course, says, "Are you serious? Did anyone?" And here, now we are in the other side. And so the other guy says, "Did anyone see you come?" Um, and the Wrath says, "Are you serious?" And I shouldn't have said the other guy, the girlfriend here. "Did you do it? Is Gordon dead?" And the Wrath says, "Not yet. Make it soon, honey. My father was a gang boss. He swore he'd get out of the business, get clean, but he died. I know, you hired me to hit the man who killed him, Grail. I didn't know that what I did... sorry. And I know that. What I didn't know is that I'd fall in love with you, and sometimes I wish I'd never had. Don't say that, Grail. I told you when Gordon's dead, I'm through. We'll leave the country. We'll..." And so they're interrupted, and this is her butler, servant, whatever. And of course, the Wrath is like, "You didn't tell me we weren't alone." And he's like, "He might tell someone. He's seen me." And so you can see the shock in her eyes as he kills the guy, and you can see the blood. I love this panel. You don't see a lot, but you see everything. It's just fantastic. Michael Golden is so good. I really enjoy his art. And so he goes, "I just can't take that chance." And so we're back at Wayne Manor here. And so him and Alfred are talking here. And so he explains that every gun leaves a unique marking, kind of like a fingerprint. And he's saying all these guns, the gun that fired at Gordon is the same gun that killed Commander Foxborough in Scotland Yard and killed many other police officers over the past few years. The killer signing his work. And do they know who he is? And Batman says, "Someone I've dreaded meeting. My opposite number. A man as skilled, as obsessed as I am. The player on the other side." And of course, Alfred doesn't understand. And he says, "It's an essay by Thomas Huxley, Alfred. I read it long ago, but it stayed with me to this day." And so I love the screen tones here. And so Bruce says here, "The chessboard is the world. The rules of the game are what we call the laws of nature. The players on the other side is hidden from us. We know that his play is always fair, just, and patient, but we also know to our cost that he never makes a mistake or makes the smallest allowance for ignorance. I knew I'd meet him someday." And so But why now with the night of the 26th coming up? And Alfred says the 26th. He would know that would be the day that his parents died. So it's kind of here Alfred doesn't realize that, but Alfred would know that. And so now we are on the 25th, and this guy's walking and he's thrown money, and this guy is looking for the Wrath is looking for Jim Gordon, and this guy is an underworld guy with a little bit of connections here, and he's like he needs information here, and he's like, can't Batman will tear me apart, and Wrath puts a gun in his head. Yeah, well, he won't he won't kill you, but I will, basically. And so he goes, okay, okay. And he says, the Batman caught me ripping off a radio a couple years ago. Real dumb of me. Turns out he always goes there once a year. Same night every year, June 26th. And of course, Wrath, that's the same year his parents were killed. And so he says at 26, you're certain, Jimbo? And he says yes. And so he starts crying, thinking that he's going to kill him. But he's gone, similar to the way Batman leaves. But he left the money with him. And so he goes to the library to, in this days, probably check micro, what were they called? They weren't computers, but, oh man, you would insert slides and you could read it and all that kind of stuff. So, and so he makes a deduction that, Batman is Bruce Wayne, because that's the other guy that was there. And the night, a security guard comes through and he says, you'll have to speak up, officer. Sounds like you got something on your throat, as he threw the ninja stars at him. So the guy knows now that he is Bruce Wayne. So all right, this guy ends up calling, and Alfred picks it up, and he's like, "What? They did what?" And so he runs, and the graves of his parents has been desecrated and broken here. And so look at Bruce Wayne, how angry he is. And so he looks and give me CG, and immediately Batman says, Commissioner Gordon. He knows, and so he's gonna call um Alfred. And in 1984, he had I love this Rolls Royce. He had, look, and you can see the shadow here. And I missed this on my first read through it. I had missed that. And he says, "Hey, Alfred, get out now." A car phone in 1984. That's pretty cool. And so he's like, "You're in danger," and of course he's right there. So he's trying to hurry, and it turns out, that he's been beaten up, and Gordon sees the report on the TV, and he looks out the window, and it just he says, "I wonder if this is related to me." Which, how would he know that? But regardless. All right, so then his girlfriend, the mobster's daughter, is gonna offer money to anybody that can find Jim Gordon, and so she gives money to all these people and says, "Get out there." The reason she does is she wants them to find Jim Gordon so that the Wrath can find him and get his thing, and be free, so they can start a new life, because of course she is in love, and there's a Porsche. So here we see poor Alfred. He was really badly beaten up here, and he is lucky to be alive. And so now we got a bar here, and he's drinking to Jim Gordon because that lady gave money, and this is Batman in disguise here, and he says, "Yeah, they're this lady's giving us money," and when he turns around, he's gone, and so Batman goes to check and sees this blood stain on there, and so he's gonna go downstairs. She thinks it's the Wrath coming up, and she says, "You're here, thank God. Hey, honey, listen to me. Forget about Gordon and your plan. Let's just go away somewhere, okay?" And slowly, this is just awesome. It's revealed that it's Batman. Part of me would like that, Miss Hudson, but I can't. Not until my mission is done. And of course, she realizes it's not the Wrath. But this is a beautiful panel. This or a beautiful 3 panels really. Just awesome done. And so she tries to get away. He does like a Vulcan pinch on her and takes her down softly here. And so he sees this map here on her table. So he takes a look at it. He's like, "Of course, I should have known." And he's also now figured it out. Um, so now it's Leslie Thompson, but of course doesn't realize that this isn't Batman. You can see by the magenta. So now Batman kind of fooled the girlfriend, and here he's gonna kind of fool Leslie Thompson, and realizes, say, that's not Batman, and he's like, "No, ma'am." And here he's gonna take out his gun. So he leaves the stuff there, and Batman leaves Batman. This is so cheesy. Like he would have taken time to cut all these things out or whatever. And so he's like basically grabs Leslie Thompson and wants to trade her for Jim Gordon. And Batman's a little conflicted here. So he goes to Jim Gordon here, and they're going to basically hatch out a plan because Batman's not going to do things without plans. So Gordon's going to help him here. So, of course, he shows up with Jim Gordon, and he says, "You're coming up here by the stairs, nice and slow, no tricks, or I'll paint Crime Alley with her brains." So off they go. He tells them to go cuff themselves in there, and so Batman obliges. He lets Leslie go. It says, "Why are you doing this?" And Batman explains, "I think he has his reason this time, because just as I have mine." And so he says that you won't be on this side of the grave much longer, Batman, but first, Gordon. And Jim's like, "Do you expect me to beg? I never have." And he shoots at him. And as she's waking up here, you can see the 2 bullets hit him, and blood's coming out. And she goes, "It's over." And she takes the map here. So she's going to go see, and he's happy it's over. You can see the blood. And he's like, "It's over, mother and father, at last." And Jim's like, or Batman's like, "I knew it. Now you can rest. In a few seconds, so can I." And Gordon hits him from behind. And Batman's upset. He's like, "Blasted. He was supposed to stay out of the way. I could have dodged the shot and sprung these handcuffs on my own," as he goes through. "But now my enemy knows he's still alive, and he won't be tricked twice." So Batman opens the door and says, "Get out of here, Commissioner. This is between the 2 of us." And the Rat says, "Don't worry about him, Batman. Worry about yourself." And so we're going to get our fight here, which is almost a full 10 pages. So this is a 40-page. And so almost the entire end of it is them fighting, which is glorious. Look at this. Just as the 2 of them fight. Just amazing. So this is such a good story. It's priced pretty reasonable. I have this story, but you can look and buy it probably for $15 or less on eBay. So yeah, it's not priced too bad. And so he throws the ninja stars at him, but Batman dodges them. And Gordon comes down and tells everybody that he's fine, and to kill the guy. He's like, "Fire at will." It's the 80s, and it's that whole macho tough man kind of thing here. And this guy's like, which one is Batman? Well, the one that's purple. And so here they continue fighting here. And so the girlfriend finally arrives here. And Batman says, "Half the force is down there. You can't get away." And the rest says, "Don't count on it, Batman. You could, so can I." And Batman says, or is thinking here, pulling something from beneath his cape, but whatever it is, he'll be less anxious to use it in close quarters, which was this thing here as Batman took the offensive there, and that thing explodes there, and it's spreading through, and he's like, the whole building could go up. Don't know if I have enough foam capsule to. And he says, I knew my bomb would do the trick one way or another, and you can see the gook. And Batman actually has been stabbed here, and you can see it here. And she's trying to see, but she can't. And he's like, I got to ignore the pain of the knife here. And as they continue fighting here, take one thread at a time, and then he pushes him, and he doesn't, or he rolls him over, but doesn't realize he's rolled him toward the fire. And so he's trying to hold on, and Batman actually is a little weak, but he pulls out the blade, and he goes, "Hold on." And they don't know from here who it is, and he's like, "Grab my, follow my voice, grab my hand," and he's like, "Too late, I can't." And he starts to fall. Of course, she's like, "No," and the poor guy ends up falling through. The girlfriend tries to go there, but they hold him out there, and so they help Batman with his wounds here, and he says, "I feel fine." And for a man who feels like he just watched himself die, and of course, off panel here, Batman. I almost passed out when the bullet struck the vest, but I heard him say something. What was it? Did he explain why he wanted to kill me, or why he's murdered so many other cops? And Batman knows, but he doesn't say. He says, "No, men like him rarely explain their motives. Don't suppose we'll ever know." And so Leslie comes through, and Batman says, "Miss Tompkins, I'm sorry you had to be involved in this. Don't, please, but you know, you've never told me the reason you come to visit me on this day." So Leslie knows who Batman is, but did not during this time, but she does do now. Although it does seem like everybody knows who the heck Batman is nowadays. I wish they would retcon and have less people know. There's so many people that know Batman is Bruce Wayne. Really, what is the friggin' point? By this point, it's got to be the worst kept secret. And so here they start covering him up. And so we're going to get now to the last page as she's crying. And we get here kind of say goodbye. And Miss Tompkins goes and hugs her and says, that's right, dear. Let it out. I'm Leslie Tompkins. Please come with me. I'll do what I can." And June 26th, midnight. And that is it. And that's the end of the story. So, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. So, it's one I wanted to share with you guys because I'm a huge Michael Golden guy. So I hope you like this story. I bought this actually about 10 years ago, so I didn't even have it way back in the day. But when I had bought the trade paperback, I chased this down. And like I said, it still doesn't cost very much on eBay if you're interested in owning this story. So, Batman Special #1 by Mike W. Barr and Michael Golden. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.